I'm Bob Bennett. I own Farsight Management, and we specialize in indoor air quality issues. I receive a lot of phone calls about pantries, and I just finished an assessment on one, and I want to talk to you about some do's and don'ts. A pantry is where you store your food. So, most of the time, a pantry is along an exterior wall because you want to utilize the cool nature of the foundation walls. So, and then the interior wall can either be constructed by wood or cinder block. So sometimes pantries are under the concrete slab of a front porch. That's real common. So when you go into a pantry, you want to make sure that the foundation walls are painted with a water vapor retardant paint. There are some famous ones out there. They all work pretty good. But you want to do at least 3 coats on that because you'll be surprised what you accomplish with the 3rd coat. The floor, sometimes you walk in and the floor is partially exposed with dirt or gravel. That's an absolute no-no. The idea of a pantry is that it's a cool, dry place. Back in the day, they allowed humidity within the perimeter of the envelope of the home that you don't do anymore. So when I see exposed gravel, I say excavate that out, lay plastic down, put down your gravel again, then concrete it over. They make some beautiful floor paints for concrete. So when I work with my clients, I want to do whatever I can to minimize the humidity production in the home. So I suggest paint the floor, paint the walls, and that'll at least prevent a lot of the moisture from coming in. You can't have a pantry that is a confined space. You have to have communication between the airspace of the pantry and the airspace in the basement. And what I mean by that is that you cannot have humidity build up within the pantry and have it much, much higher than the basement area, because the basement area is going to get a lot of exchange from doors and windows and whatnot. So I always suggest either using a louvered door, ones that have slats on it, to allow the elevated humidity that will develop in the pantry to escape into the basement, or the space between your floor joists, allow that to communicate, because through simple osmotic pressure, when the elevated humidity goes up in the pantry, it's going to want to escape. And when you have the closed door, then it's not going to, and then you'll have an opportunity for mold to grow. The other thing I'd mention is the ceiling. If it's under a concrete slab, you really need to have high-density foam board put on the ceiling, because during the winter, that concrete slab is going to be whatever the temperature outside is, whether it's 10 degrees or 20 degrees. And the warm air from the basement making contact with that cold slab is going to allow condensation and mold growth. So that's a real no-no. So put foam board. I use 1 inch. I think 1.5 inches is too much, but I use 1 inch and glue it to the ceiling. There are special glues for that. Be sure that your glue is actually made for foam board. So the idea is to have a cool, dry place that you store your food, and that the humidity can transmit from that pantry area into the basement. And you should prevent a condition to allow mold to grow. Bob Bennett, Farsight Management. It's better to use Farsight than hindsight. Have a good day.